Yes, please come in.
Hello, Mr. Basso. I'm Brian Yarza from NetSuite. How are you doing?
Brian, not so good. My wife just left me, and she's filed for custody of my children.
I'm sorry to hear that. I know how hard that can be.
Yeah, well, take a seat, and we can get down to some business, huh?
All right. When I talked to your brother Alex last week, he suggested I come by and show you our NetSuite CRM Plus software, and that you would be interested. But before we begin, is there anybody else in your company that we need to approve any agreements that we might arrange?
Well, I'll have to run it by the VP of Sales and the head of IT, but they'll listen to what I have to say.
As I would imagine. Also, are there any important criteria that we should cover?
Well, before we make an investment in any product or service, we have to be certain that we're going to make our money back and be convinced that it will save or make us money. Of course, the larger the cost, the larger the premium must be.
So what you're saying is that you want a definite return on your investment.
Exactly.
Great, now we can get underway. Let's go over what I would like to cover in today's meeting. First, I'd like to ask you some questions about what it is you do, so that I could better serve you. Secondly, I'm going to tell you what it is we do, and after that, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask you any questions you might have. And finally, I'll ask you if it all makes sense to you or not. How does this sound to you?
I'll take it!
Maybe we should go over a few of those things first.
Oh, yes, of course.
All right, may I ask you some questions about your company now?
Ask away.
How large is your sales force?
Our sales force consists of about 200 people.
Do you currently have any customer relationship management software?
We do not.
Then how do your salespersons manage their customer relationships?
Well, it's up to the individual salespersons to manage their own leads and prospects. One of the main responsibilities of our salespeople is to record the information they get collected into call sheets and get them into me. As Salesforce manager, part of my job is to complete these sheets and send the information to marketing.
How do your salespersons keep track of the information they have collected?
Some of them simply write it all down, while others keep their information on a computer. It doesn't matter to me as long as they have all the necessary information on their call sheets.
Have you encountered any complications in keeping track of all your customers' information? I mean, do your salespersons ever lose valuable information or find it difficult to access relevant information when they need it?
Well, yeah, but that's all just part of the game, isn't it?
Well, let me ask you, what happens when a salesperson loses or can't access important information?
Well, if they lose the information, they have to get it back in their next sales call. This is both embarrassing and costly, since they're much less likely to make a sale if that happens. Now, if they can't access important information, well, then they're essentially going into a sales call blind, which is also embarrassing and costly.
How often do you find this happens?
On average, it happens about once a week, and half the time it costs us a sale. That's across the entire sales force, though.
What is the lost value of a sale?
Well, it varies, but on average, a sale produces a relationship worth approximately $25,000 a year.
And what is the contribution margin of the $25,000 of sales?
About $20,000 of that dollars.
Oh, so if this happens 50 times a year, and half of those times you lose the sale, you're losing about $500,000 a year. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Mr. Basso, don't start worrying just yet. If I told you that these losses were avoidable and showed you just how to avoid them, would you be interested?
Unequivocally, yes.
All right, well, we have a product called NetSuite CRM Plus that will not only solve that problem, but will streamline your management of customer relationships as well. You mentioned before that you were interested in cutting costs. NetSuite CRM Plus will save you both time and money. How does that sound to you?
Like music to my ears. Please, go on.
Well, NetSuite CRM Plus is software that manages and organizes information on customers, from prospecting to closed sales to customer service and support, allowing salespersons to upload and download information at will. Does this interest you?
Actually, with all that inconsistency and reliability issues we've been having, it might make sense to implement such a system for our sales representatives.
With NetSuite CRM Plus, your salespersons will have no excuse for losing or being unable to access a customer's valuable information, which, as we discussed before, is costing your firm $500,000 every year, right?
Yeah, and that sounds great, but how much does NetSuite CRM Plus cost?
NetSuite is 1,548 each year per user. So for your sales force of 250 representatives, that's about 387,000 a year, or 32,250 a month.
That's expensive.
Yeah, it is, but it's worth every penny. Right away, you're saving 500,000 a year. Even after a cost of 387,000, you are still saving 113,000. Here, I put it all down on paper for you.
Oh, thank you.
This analysis doesn't even factor in any of the other savings you might receive from an investment in NetSuite. How does that sound?
Well, what other benefits are there to using NetSuite?
I'm glad you asked. You know those sales call sheets that your sales reps spend time creating and that you spend time compiling? NetSuite CRM Plus will generate reports for your reps and analyze them for you. This makes both of your jobs easier and more efficient, allowing you to create value in other ways without being bogged down by reports, leading to a direct increase in productivity and sales. Your sales reps will also be able to relay information to you immediately after every sales call, instead of during weekly reports, further improving the efficiency of your sales force, allowing them to make even more sales. Don't you agree?
Wow. Yeah. But is there any way you can show me all this?
Of course. Here, let me demonstrate NetSuite CRM Plus on my laptop.
Oh, yes.
This is the Salesforce automation. And here's the reporting and analysis. You can also schedule complex commission structures for your sales force, which will save you even more valuable time, see?
Hold on. This all looks complicated. I'm not sure I have the resources to train 250 sales representatives on a new piece of software.
You're saying the software will require a significant investment in training?
Yeah, it seems like it would take a long time to learn how to use.
I understand how you feel, and others have felt the same way. However, they found that NetSuite was actually very easy to use. Listen to what the CEO of Sunset Companies had to say. My mom could pick up NetSuite in about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not sure why his mom was using NetSuite, but it's all very user-friendly. Let me show you. Isn't that easy?
Actually, you're right. This is a piece of cake. But still, while I am not sure that I need some form of CRM software, why should I go with NetSuite?
Are you concerned that NetSuite isn't the best choice of all available CRM software?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me give you some testimonials on what others have thought. Don't just take it from them. Let me tell you a few things, and then I'll let you decide. Does this sound good to you?
Yes, please continue.
Most CRM software focuses on prospects rather than customers. However, NetSuite expands this role into other order management as well. So you have a holistic view of all your customer relationships, from prospects to repurchasers. Do you need to hear more?
I sure do. Do you have more?
I sure do. NetSuite also provides the best sales forecasting in the industry. You will now have more reliable and accurate forecasts to go by, and it's easy to manage them in real time. How does that sound?
All this sounds too good to be true.
Doesn't it? I'll call up my people and we can have you set up by tomorrow afternoon.
Whoa, wait a second. I just don't want to rush into a decision. I mean, you can see how that worked out with my marriage.
I understand how you feel, but unlike your marriage, you have all the information you need to make an informed decision.
Well, I thought that before, too. And that's after we've been dating for a good 4 years. I mean, I've just met you.
Listen, there has to be some reason why you're hesitating now. Do you mind if I ask what it is?
Well, it just costs too much to make a decision right here and now.
In addition to that, are there any other reasons for not moving forward?
No, it's just that.
Well, if you could convince yourself that the savings on this investment far outweigh the costs, would you be able to go ahead with it?
Yes, I suppose so, yes.
I know that NetSuite is a considerable investment, but the returns on that investment are worth it, and there is little to no risk involved. Let's go over the benefits of NetSuite. First, you're going to save $500,000 on lost sales due to misplaced customer information. But that's not all. You'll even save even more time and therefore money in reporting and analysis. Don't you think that these savings more than compensate you for your yearly investment of $387,000?
I don't know.
I understand where you're coming from, and you are wise to deliberate. If I come back in a week, what are the odds, as a percentage, that you and I will do business?
I would say 75%.
Well, the remaining 25%, what do you suppose that is?
You know, I just don't think I know how reliable your product is.
What if I let your Salesforce try out NetSuite CRM Plus for a week? If you don't like it after that, I'll tear up the contract like it never happened.
Really? Can you do that?
Certainly, I'll come by tomorrow and we'll have everything set up by the afternoon. How does that sound?
It sounds like we have a deal.
Fantastic. Just leave everything to me. We'll come in, set you guys up, take a few minutes to show you how to use the software, and in a week, I'll stop by and see how it's been working out for you.
Thanks. Well, I have to go now. I'll be late for my custody hearing.
Good luck with that. I'll see you tomorrow.